listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
I don't want to get the best of you. Yo. Nah, yeah. I just want to get what's left of you. Yo.
He has a little game that he plays. Clever little ways and a hot boy style. Racks up on the dough that he makes. Flash a little cash, most girls wow. Lately he's been checking for me. Telling me how much he wants to be. Wants to be the one to replace the man that waits at home for me. Oh no, I can't let you get the best of me. And Lord, deep inside, something's dying to see how you go out there close and you put it on me. And it's coming on strong. You know that it's wrong. I can't let you get the best of me. Put it on me. The best of me. Put it on me. So is he trying to play?
Welcome in. Happy Friday. Buckle up, because you are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. This is the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines. And tonight, we got a lot to get into. From reality stars facing real-life indictments to Nia Long choosing peace over pettiness. More. We're going to get into all of those details. You know, first up, shout out to The Best of Me, both versions, when a remix was really a remix with a completely different track and flow and everything. Happy birthday to the Libra goddess that is Maya. Andy.
Who doesn't want to have any kids or no boo thing.
And is vegan, so stay away from her with your meat eater breath. She said she could smell it if you attempted to kiss her. So only step to her if you are vegan. Listen. All right, look. Tonight, like I said, we have so much to get into. Things escalate quickly around these streets, right? We are talking Wendy Osefo. I hope I'm saying that correctly, of Real Housewives of Potomac. She has been indicted, she and her husband, on 16 counts of fraud, $500,000. We're going to get into all of the details. I mentioned Nia Long. She's talking about protecting her peace and learning to co-parent. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the Philly legend finally getting his flowers on Prime Video. We'll talk about it. But first, speaking of hoops, right? And shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. Look like they're about to add another chip to the dynasty, right? NBA legend Paul Pierce was arrested by LACHP officers after they found him asleep behind the wheel of his Range Rover on the 101 freeway Tuesday night, right? He was cited for misdemeanor DUI and release. Now, he says that it simply was he's old. It was a traffic jam. Traffic wasn't moving, and he nodded off. Not that he was doing anything illicit, but we'll have to see what develops with it. You know, Paul is wild business. Andy, that's your Libra brother.
I will say this about LA traffic. Depending on the time of the day, especially right now, if you're in traffic, especially on that 405, maybe even the 105, the way traffic be sometimes, if you're coming off of work, it's been a couple times where I low-key done not.
This was 11:30 at night.
you'll be surprised sometimes
But
about traffic.
he put up a photo of the traffic jam, like something had happened, some other incident had happened on the freeway. So, it was near Lancashire in the Valley, and they noted signs of alcohol impairment and conducted a DUI investigation. So, the LA City Attorney's Office has the case to review. So we'll see what happens. The truth is the truth. Listen, you know what else? There's lots of things happening. Still reaction going on from Drake's lawsuit being dismissed against UMG. I heard it said that Drake should now drop his R&B album. It's wintertime, get back in tap with the ladies. I said that a couple of years ago before all of this broke out, even the Kendrick. I think he needs to explore his R&B side and go back and, talk to the ladies like he used to instead of his bitter, thing that he's kind of on now.
I don't know if you touched on it. If you did, please forgive me. Obviously, Drake was trending on Twitter. And they were talking about how the lawyers were doing their homework. And they talked about a verse from Drake. I believe it was the Tailor-Made Freestyle, where that was a song where he used AI Snoop and AI Tupac to diss Kendrick, right? And in the verse where AI Tupac was rapping, let's just say he basically encouraged Kendrick. This is Tupac talking to Kendrick, talking about, hey, you need to go ahead and diss Drake, but this is Drake, if that makes sense, right? So as Tupac is rapping, he's essentially saying, hey, why don't you insinuate that he has feelings for little kids and stuff like that? So what did Kendrick do? He took that advice and used that against you. So in other words, all this stuff about you being a pedophile, Drake,
you did it.
You asked for it, homie.
Yeah, you asked for it. With a lot of that. And then how can you remove the things that you did say? That Kendrick's child was his best friend and that he, abused his wife. You said all of those things as well. So it was a tricky thing. And as the judge said, clearly the fans listening to this understand the difference. And I understand the judge is siding with the law, and I agree with him, but sometimes you have to wonder the difference between journalism and art. And that's what it boils down to. So, good luck, Drake. Make an R&B album. When we come forward, we're going to get into this fraud case. It's a lot of charges here. All of that and more, you're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MAJOR25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MAJOR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MAJOR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Farm is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech. Left Coast Farm. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And I'm not alone tonight. I'm being joined, longtime contributor, been absent for a minute. We'll get into a little bit of that. Entertainment and sports journalist, boxing expert. Film and TV critic Giandra LaBeouf. Giandra was here on Instagram, YouTube, all of the things.
All of the things.
Welcome back, Giandra.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I feel like a little lost sheep that has wandered back onto the farm again.
Back in the flock. Andy.
You know, I hate to bring the drama, but Giandra, I saw you on social media recently, and you were going off on some folks.
Not folks specifically, but, you know, I have thoughts. And as I have been treading this world back into the traditional workforce and pivoting away from entertainment, one of the main reasons for me to pivot away from entertainment, you know, sometimes I have thoughts and I have to express them.
Well, listen, we're going to let you express them. We want to get into it because Andy wants to know. But before then, just a reminder, 800-920-1580 if you want to join this conversation at any time. You can also hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. And we have an app. Download the app. Get into it. Yes. And, of course, we have a whole community, our VIPs in the YouTube chat. Get into it with them. And, you know, I have decided that Fridays are going to be dubbed Front Row Fridays. Ooh. And what that means is not only do, you know, generally I feature my interviews, if I've done some, on Fridays, but also because, you know, we're going to maybe deep dive into some things in entertainment, you know, outside of just the normal kind of that we talk to. We always do depth, but I'm saying that because of what I believe Giandra's going to get into.
So, you know, what kind of led this, as I've been starting to pivot my way back into screening films and things, and I'm looking at a lot of my colleagues who are not there anymore. And I know my reasons for not being there anymore, but it's a widespread thing. There's lots of stories in the media about things moving away from Los Angeles to New York and other places. And why is that? And why aren't people watching things? And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that there aren't any credible journalists or critics who are getting the same opportunities that influencers are. And it's just all predicated on fluff and no room for critique, especially in a time when people are talking about free speech. But it doesn't exist in Hollywood.
So, well, let's ponder that for a second. Andy, was that what you saw on social media that you were thinking, or were you talking about something with the bike?
That's exactly what I heard.
Oh, okay,
Thank you for the reminder, because I forgot specifically what it was, but I know it has something to do with, like, the industry or whatnot, so I appreciate that.
So, you know, listen, I feel as though I understand that, you know, cable's losing share. People stop going to the movies because, listen, I got a 60-inch screen TV with a surround sound system in my house. Movies cost $35 plus $12 for a drink, $6 for a water. I could stay home and be comfortable and still get the experience,
and
right?
The bathroom is clean, too.
Correct. So, I mean, I understand that it's a fight for market share, but I think the idea when it just turned to numbers, and so much of it has happened across the board, like tech has really come in and infiltrate the music business, TV, film, everything, where I'm not saying numbers aren't important and they don't indicate things, but I have never seen a time period we as fans are more concerned with what the numbers do, not supporting them, but what the numbers do, than what the actual content is and if we like it or not. Who cares realistically what the numbers say? Like, I'm talking about in theory for you personally, not the business side of it. I'm talking about the audience. The audience taking such an active interest in the numbers takes away from the art, because then people are only looking at the things that are quote unquote popular. Think about the things that didn't pop off initially that have been rebirthed and have renewed light, just because maybe they came a little bit too early or the distribution wasn't quite there. And we've niched down so much because of social media. People sometimes, like, one of the things that I loved about early Twitter or early Instagram was not only getting to actually see the people's content that I follow, was that the Explorer page did show me sometimes things or introduce me to things that I may not have been looking for. And now, because they're like, no, well, really, I'm only going to show you things that I think that you like, you're locked into a kind of redundant cycle.
You know, bringing it back to film and things, we have a thing situation, and you touched upon it beautifully, about people wait for the numbers. And so we're kind of stuck in this whole, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? How do you get the numbers without talking about the content? And so many people, it's so easy to fabricate numbers now. It used to be, if you wanted to watch a film, you got on and you watched Siskel and Ebert and they talked about the film, and it didn't matter if they liked it or they didn't like it. Sometimes them not liking it made it that much better, and it propelled the project to make people want to see it, because you look at the person doing the critique, old white men who had a different point of view or slant in a lot of films that didn't fit that demographic, still went on to be successful. And so now there's been this elimination of critique and discernment and just explaining. It's not even so much about not allowing influencers to participate in projects. The problem is the influencers have no real thoughts,
no depth,
nothing. It's just, well, I'm going to do my dance in front of this billboard, and the movie was so cool. Well, why was the movie cool? What about it? Give me 3 reasons why the movie was cool. And so now you have these people who are reporting back, who engage and hire these influencers, and they tell the studio, Influencer A has 800 billion followers, but how many of those actually translated into real sales? Meanwhile, people who have the ability to discuss the film and articulate clearly to people why they should see it are being pushed to the wayside, not to mention that these people are being paid for this garbage. It's trash. It's dreck. And that's why the studios are flopping, films are flopping. Nobody wants to think anymore. It's lazy.
I mean, the films are, and TV, there's so much content. It's almost like we talk about this with music, all of it overall. Everything is really, almost forgettable. We process through so many things and forget about it. Nothing sticks. Nothing has that long-term, oh my God, this was my favorite. What are our new classics from the past 10 years?
It's a nasty buffet. You can akin it to a buffet. Buffets are gross. If you didn't think that before, COVID should have taught you that buffets were gross. There's so much out there that when you look, it's overwhelming. So how do you cut through the noise when all you have is someone going, oh, it was so cool, so cool? Why? Did it make you think? Did it make you feel? Did it make you challenge? Did it make you not challenge? It's just nothing. It's just air, dirty air. Hot dog water.
Andy,
I hear the argument. I'm a sports guy, right? So I watch ESPN, and I feel like it's a battle between the former athletes who's trying to get into the media game and those who went to school, got the degree, the journalism degree, and people are dismissing Stephen A's opinion because he didn't play the game. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's that way all around with entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Either you were an actor, a participator, or you were on the outside looking in. You went to school, you got your degree, and you feel like you have a space or a place to say something. And I don't know. I just
Sports is a great example of that. That happens a lot to us on the boxing side as well. Well, if you've never fought, how can you judge my fight? Well, you liked my opinion when I said you won. So what's the difference?
So here's my thing with that. I am not of the mindset per se that you have to have gone the traditional path. I am not saying that influencers cannot give, articulate, informative opinions, but it has to make sense.
But they don't.
Right. And that's why I'm saying, it's just like they get to go and be cutesy, but with the journalists, they'll give you all of these restrictions. Oh, only ask about the movie. No this, no that. No, you can't do this, right? And limit the scope, but they'll give these influencers free reign, and you end up with a bunch of nothing. It's personality, personality, personality. And at the end of it, like you said, their audience is like, oh, wow, I got to see my influencer A with celebrity B, but they don't care or know anything about the project that they're getting together for.
What was F1 movie about? We know it was about cars, but what was the greater story about that with Brad Pitt and Damson Idris?
He was Damson's mentor, maybe.
Exactly, right? Because there were no journalists covering that.
Right.
It was a bunch of influencers covering that. And again, I got people in my DMs telling me crazy stuff. And you know what? I don't care. You will be all right. But the fact of the matter is, no, people need people to think for them. That is very apparent in our current climate. And the fact that there's no one doing the thinking for them, no one's going to see the movies. They're going to stay home and Netflix and chill.
Andy.
There's no Siskel and Ebert now, though.
There are, but they don't get highlighted.
Well, here's the thing with that as well. Free press. Freedom of the press, free press. The majority of the people who do the type of work we're talking about, critics, are independent press people who are making the most minimal of money, and people see you with a celebrity and they think that because you have that proximity to somebody of wealth that you are of the same means. The majority, your average journalist, 90%, I'd even say 95% of journalists working are not making money and have other jobs. The only people who are really making the bag are the people who are on a network. And the majority of the people who comprise this group of critics are not those people. So they get pushed out. Then on top of that, you get to sit and watch these people come dance in front of a sign and get paid for it. It's crazy.
And if you critique too hard, sometimes
retaliation.
You may not get access to the junkets, to the screenings, to the things. So
I'm not getting access probably to nothing ever again after last night.
They're mad at you.
Yeah.
Well,
it's all right.
Andy?
Could the administration be a factor in what's going on right now?
I mean, in some things, but not really. This is something.
Well, maybe. Because look at all the DEI initiatives that we had, and now all those people are gone and out of work.
That's true. I mean, so yes, but I also look at when some of them were there, some journalists in positions weren't any better.
No.
Per se. So, it's all a part of the mix. I can't, to deny it would be foolish.
Right.
And not to see what is there. But I can't say that is the total causation. Andy?
I'm going to make a statement.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Social media killed journalism.
It did in a lot of ways.
Everybody has a platform. Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
I can go to crypto.com. I don't know if they got a game going on, and I'll have my iPhone and talk to whoever, and I'm a journalist out there.
You could go on TikTok right now and someone's talking about fantasy football who don't even really understand football. They're just playing because their friends play.
And the thing is this, everybody can have the conversation, right? I think that is the thing. And people say they want relatable, they want to be talked to, how they talk to their friends. But at the same time, that is when there has to be some type of discernment, some type of...
Maybe you need different friends.
Capabilities where you understand what is just fun and games and what is, more strategic.
I've known you for 10 years. Can I call you on the phone and just be like it was cool, you're like, girl, get off my phone and quit playing on my phone. Have a conversation. Be a grown up.
Well, look, speaking of social media, I think that these are two related things, right? Real Housewives of Potomac, Dr. Wendy Osefo, and her husband, Eddie, have been charged with multiple counts of insurance fraud, right? Including false reports and misleading claims that they filed, totaling nearly $450,000. All right. They filed this burglary report April 7th, 2023. At their home. They were reportedly in Jamaica and reported that their home had been broken into. There were a bedroom where things were askew, flipped over, drawers, blase, blah, 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 blah. They claimed that there were several luxury items stolen, including designer bags and jewelry. Problem is, Wendy was later seen wearing a stolen diamond ring on social media.
Yes.
Right? They also said that some of the bags that they reported and claimed, they had email traces to their accounts at these luxury stores. And these items had been purchased because they showed them the receipts, but they had also been returned and the money had been gotten back.
Oof.
They have emails as well. And to me, this is a doctor with multiple degrees, a successful husband. And to me, all this says, if proven to be true, is social media, the idea of appearing baller-esque to keep up with the Joneses. It's expensive to be on reality TV.
Yes, it is.
And we'll get into those details and more when we come forward. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You can hold a joint if you with me. Vacation costs $150. We living it up. I put it on your ass if you giving it up. And you know I'm not a hater. And if you feel bad, then you call them up later and tell them you all jaders.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A Virginia grand jury has indicted Black New York Attorney General Letitia James on mortgage fraud charges. James called the case baseless, accusing Trump of political retribution.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system.
U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, a Trump appointee, presented the case just weeks after indicting former FBI Director James Comey. A federal judge has temporarily blocked President Trump from deploying National Guard troops to Chicago for the next 2 weeks. In Memphis, Guard members began patrols today without arrest powers or firearms. Black Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis plans to use them for traffic control and other non-enforcement duties. And some Lakers fans are suing LeBron James after his teased second decision turned out to be an ad, not a retirement announcement. Fans say they bought pricey tickets expecting his final season. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Tough in Anaheim, East 91. That's where the drive slows down, approaching the 57 freeway on and off the brakes ahead all the way to Green River. And even slow is the 241 toll road. This is northbound away from the Windy Ridge Toll Plaza all the way to the 91 freeway. Let's look at Irvine, 5 northbound, leaving the 133 all the way to Harbor in Anaheim. Out to Burbank, the 134 eastbound. Delays here pushing back from just about Bob Hope Drive as you make your way into Glendale, better past Glendale Avenue.
Do you really know what's in your tap water? We believe your water should support your health, not work against it. Upgrade your home with a LifeSource whole house system. Clean water from every tap, no salt, no hassle. Call 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com.
Warranty limitations apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It's obvious Father Time is having more conversations with LeBron this year. At age 40, LeBron is dealing with health issues that never came up during his 22 years in the NBA. At the start of training camp, the Lakers medical staff advised LeBron not to practice or play in the preseason. LeBron was diagnosed with irritation in his glutes. the muscles in the rear end. Now LeBron has inflammation in the sciatica nerve, a nerve that stretches from the lower back to the legs and feet. The inflammation will keep LeBron sidelined for at least 3 to 4 weeks. He will miss the Lakers' regular season opener against Golden State on October 21st. LeBron will be 41 in December. He's been one of the NBA's more durable players throughout his career, but Father Time is in LeBron's ear. It's taking LeBron a little bit longer to recover from certain ailments. Lakers Nation needs to get prepared. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just blow on up. Anytime I could just lose control, caught up in your loving. Every time I feel your touch, second thoughts, more doubts started baby. Oh yeah, yeah. Just what I wanted. And hey, you're killing me on the inside. And you're the only one I want. I can't deny. Don't know what to do, what to say. I'm not sure what to tell. You're confused. Which way do I take your hand or let go? Do I take your hand or let it go? I can't take this feeling much more.
Welcome in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. We're a little early. Wishing Usher happy birthday. His birthday's Tuesday. You didn't even know. He was part of your Libra brethren.
You already know.
You know. Banger. Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm joined by Giandra LeBuff. Giandra was here on social media, TV and film critic, boxing analyst extraordinaire. So we're talking about Dr. Wendy of Real Housewives of Potomac, right? and the fraud charge of $450,000. And, the optics are wild, right? 16 charges total, 7 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. A John Hopkins professor, and MSNBC contributor tied to fraud. It's the collision of Black excellence and Bravo chaos, right? And the reason why I liken it to social media, right? If true, if true, allegedly, is that the idea that you're just on a reality show, right? Let's say she's paid, I don't know how many seasons in Wendy is, right? I know that Potomac is taken over as one of the top franchises of the Real Housewives thing. Let's say modestly, she's getting $300,000 an episode, right?
Woo.
That let's say that they're at that thing.
That's what the people are making.
Sometimes, not on all shows, like you know, on the upper echelons of Real Housewives and stuff like that. Like some of them get close to $1,500,000. Like, yeah.
Wow.
But not all, right? Not all. But let's say she's getting that, right? And I don't know, they do 12 episodes a season. Okay? So that is...
Girl, I had to bust out the calculator because I'm like,
that
damn.
would be $3.6 million, right? Now we know half of that's going to be taxed, right? But we know a laid wig, right? Those installs, it's $1,000 plus.
You're right.
We know that those designer bags, and girls want the Birkins, right? They're not trying to, get a little Michael Kors. They want Big Daddy. They want exclusive Louis Vuitton that you need a buyer for that calls you. The special collection. You can't buy this online.
Nope.
Right? Those bags are $20,000, $30,000. Sure, you could borrow. You could get a stylist if they have pull, but, they want to flip those.
Right.
And the jewelry and the vacations. And the
kids,
cars
and the
private schools. It is expensive to be a social media or reality TV personality.
And just even geographically where you live. Potomac
you have to
is
live
probably
up
more
to
than
that.
Atlanta.
Yeah, you have to live up to that experience that people expect of you. How many times do people clown somebody's busted wig? I see the lace wear right there. So, I mean... I think people get caught up. And, the thing that hits different because of Wendy is that she's built her brand around credibility. 4 degrees, an educator, a commentator. So a fall from grace that hits at the intersection of intellect and image.
Sad.
Allegedly. Pretty Round Mimi in the chat says, on a serious note, I thought Wendy Osefo was a successful psychologist in reality TV, was just a side gig to speak. I mean, we also can't discount that attention is a drug.
Absolutely.
And you can say you're going to maintain your center and be grounded, but in and of itself, the desire to be on, and this isn't shade, this is just observation, to be on reality TV or to be public facing, you desire a little bit of attention.
I wonder how much of the pressure is placed upon them by Bravo. We know that they use the opportunity and the platform to kind of spin it into other deals and brand endorsements, etc. But how much of it is part of their contractual obligations that you must post this, you must post that? Because, I mean, the 3.2 sounds amazing.
I mean, that is, let's see if we can find out. That's just me, knowing some of the stars and some of the bigger franchises. Now, I would
never post.
So because what I can say is, like, for example, Love and Hip Hop a few years ago, right? If you were just going to be a friend of on the show, not a main cast member, like maybe you get a chance to wiggle, you might get a storyline to pop off or whatever, but you're only getting like $1,500, $2,000 an episode if featured. So, I don't know.
We need do these housewives need to get together and do a class action lawsuit against Bravo?
Remember tried that, Bethany Frankel, she wanted to do that.
I don't know.
push back on it.
Do you know, since we were talking about sports, do you think it's something akin to what amateur athletes go through, like say at the college and university level, how the university profits off their image?
Well, not anymore.
Well, not anymore.
NIL's kind of changed some things up.
Do they need something like that?
I feel like Wendy was already a professor with speaking engagements and things of that nature. I think sometimes the pressure is there's competition amongst the other housewives. I think that who looks regular on reality TV?
No one. Not even going to the gym.
So, and then because the critiques are so hard and fast, right? Social media will eat you alive, right? Why she got on those shoes? What? She looked busted down. Do you know what I mean? So I think that also plays a role in just the expectation of what one is supposed to look like in not only the individual's mind, but the audience, the public's mind, what someone that is on TV. Or the whole idea of these housewives show is to show elite women who are wealthy and how they live. So if they're living like, the average person, where's the excitement in that for some, or at least in the premise of these shows?
Yeah. That's a suspension of reality. I see Morris Phillips in the chat said he'd buy his wife a fake bag and say with somebody, I'm not mad at you because I love a little visit to Canal Street. And that's real.
So, I mean, it's just, listen, there's already fallout coming from this, though, right? Because Bravo has postponed Celebrity Wife Swap, the Housewives edition, because Wendy and her husband were on there. It was supposed to drop October 15th. They've pushed it back to October 21st. In a statement via Variety, Bravo said that the Osefos look forward to their day. Well, no, I'm sorry. This was the Osefo statement. They look forward to their day in court. They're asking for privacy. Bravo has said that everything is currently under review. They're waiting. We'll see. When your storyline bleeds into the real world, Bravo doesn't play. And they might have in the past, but there's been so much outrage and outcry that you got to shut it down. So we'll see what comes of it.
I wonder if they have any type of morality clauses in these things.
They do. They often do. But the network's been retooling how it handles off-camera legal drama after the scandals that happened in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City with Jen Shah. So, Erica Jane, some things happened with her and her husband. She, managed to sidestep jail. But, the network has to be careful because they could easily get caught up.
Yeah.
When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Donald Trump has all but declared war on California, sending in a National Guard, blocking disaster relief, and cutting funds to our colleges. And now, he and Texas Republicans are trying to rig the next election by stealing congressional seats from black voters in states like Texas.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides.
Seriously, look it up. But Prop 50 is how we fight back. It gives Californians the power to fight fire with fire and beat Trump at his own game. Prop 50 creates temporary emergency congressional maps that level the playing field and protect the power of black votes. Not just in California, but across the country. Your vote matters, and the whole country is counting on California to lead. So use your vote to protect our power, our history, and our future. Vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th. Ad paid for by Yes on 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, Governor Newsom's Ballot Measure Committee, Ad Committee's top funders, HMP for Prop 50, and Fund for Policy Reform.
Open enrollment is your opportunity to choose a plan that connects you to Providence's comprehensive healthcare network. Choose a plan that includes Providence and gain access to a dedicated team of highly trained primary care physicians and specialists. From nationally recognized doctors and hospitals, Providence ensures quality care is always within reach. When you choose Providence, you choose after-hours care through our nurse advice line, urgent care, or virtual express care. You choose 24/7 access through the Providence mobile app to message providers, request prescription refills, schedule appointments, check lab results, and more. This open enrollment, prioritize your well-being with the peace of mind that comes from choosing a provider that values excellence and compassionate care. Don't just choose a plan plan dedicated to health equity and community engagement. Choose a plan that believes health is a human right. Choose a plan that delivers exceptional care and cares about your community. Choose a plan that offers Providence. Visit chooseprovidence.org to learn more.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So let's get into one of my favorites, one of our all favorites, Nia Long, right? She recently, in an interview with The Cut, shared that she and her ex-fiance, Ime Udoka, did I say his name right? Because I always jack up the first name. My bad, dog. Have reached peace and understanding after their very public split, right? She's saying that their focus is now on their son, Kez. They recently even took a trip together as a family, not as in a relationship way, but, you know, space, being able to co-parent peacefully. And she said that the most important gift you can give to your kids is to heal your trauma, which I 100% believe in. And she said, me and Coach are good. I hope he wins. He deserves to win. There's still healing to be done, but no bitterness, right? And in a world where breakups go viral, and we know Nia certainly did, and all of the commentary, and she definitely was hurt. I am glad that they've reached a point where it is maturity, it is peace, and, you know, reminding everyone that healing quietly is still power.
Good for them.
And shout out to Nia. Also, she is now the face of Estee Lauder.
Yes.
And we know she looks fantastic, and part of her products are the anti-aging lines. And so, you know,
influencing that makes sense.
There you go. Big ups to Miss Nia Long, you know, as a brand ambassador. We love some Nia,
yes.
Right?
Beautiful woman.
Right. Same time. And so, of course, I want to get into this because, like, this was my first real basketball crush. Like, I loved Magic Johnson, but I was a kid, you know. I loved Allen Iverson.
Yes.
At Georgetown, I watched, like, college hoops because I wanted to see AI. I didn't really care about college hoops. There's a couple of teams, but I wanted to see him, right? And so we talked a little bit about his 6 months of sobriety that he announced recently. He has a memoir that is coming out that I'm excited to read. All the kids have memoirs dropping. You know,
everyone's a talk.
I'm a book reader, and so I appreciate it. I love hearing the stories. But there's also a documentary that is dropping. It's called The Answer. It's dropping on Prime Video October 23rd, and it's chronicling his legendary career, cultural impact, and his complicated legacy, right? We've had documentaries on AI before on his, I believe it might even been a 30 for 30 on his high school trial. If you are unfamiliar with that part of AI's history, when he was in high school, he was at a bowling alley. AI played both football and basketball in high school, was excelling in both, and he was at a bowling alley. Something happened. There was a fight that took place. A brawl broke out, and Allen was jailed for a very long time. His life, you know, was on the line, and there were some racist connotations, and obviously his career, he pushed past that. But this is going to talk about that and all of the things afterwards that kind of, you know, made him the complicated, intriguing figure that we know, right?
Another missed opportunity. The creator of ChatGPT, they're talking about all the growth and the boom. I forget what the parent company is called. Get Allen Iverson on there. the OG AI. Do a commercial with him. Remember, you heard it here first.
They absolutely should. So the Prime Video doc is being produced by Prime Video Sports and Boardroom, and the Boardroom is owned by Kevin Durant and his business partner Rich Klein. So we've seen LeBron, obviously Steph Curry is as well, Dwayne Wade, he was just nominated for an Emmy for one of his documentaries. Kobe was really one of the first to step out there, and we know he has an Oscar and I believe an Emmy for his work in the entertainment space. Yes. Athletes are expanding, and we talked about this briefly earlier. AI was more than a player. He was a movement, a cultural shifter, right? From cornrows to crossover.
Still fine.
Made the league uncomfortable and cool.
Yeah.
Right? And I know that I feel like AI is not someone that doesn't get his flowers. He does. But no. I'm not saying that AI doesn't get his flowers. But what I want to mention is that I think the early parts of his story are often, kind of glossed over. I think this new generation isn't aware of that. So I think this documentary is a good thing. Like, we hear about the crossovers. We know AI had swag. They know that he stepped over Ty Lue and all of that. But I think that they don't understand what he had to overcome just to play basketball at a collegiate level, and really, I often talk about the freedoms that this generation takes for granted with, just the ability to speak how they want and the push for hair and clothing and things like that. And AI is one of those people that shifted, kind of come as you are, and I still will hold my value and show up.
And still perform well.
Right. So, and that is the important part of it, Shout out to Tony Yayo in the chat. He said, I missed most of this episode. Did Miss LaBeouf talk any boxing? She has not, but guess what? She will right now for you. We have not talked to you before, after, during the Crawford and Canelo fight. You were there, boots on the ground, in the building. So talk a little bit about that fight and what it means going forward and where boxing currently is.
Boxing is still in a place that's being predominantly run by the Saudi side of things, because that's where all the money is. The Canelo Crawford event, the fight itself was amazing. Go watch our content. We ended up on Netflix.
The best women's boxing show on period on YouTube.
So yeah, go check us out on that. But it was just a turning point for Crawford. After I saw what he did to Errol Spence, I've known for years never to bet against Terrence Crawford, but two, it was a competitive fight. I think he definitely outperformed Canelo. He won it definitively. Going forward, will he fight again? What's the big money fight for him? He's not going to fight against David Benavidez. That's going up way too much in weight, and that neither of them expressed any interest in that. And then just kind of hovering around 154, 160, 168. What's the fight for? He could retire tomorrow. He can still go into the books as an all-time great, as a 3-division undisputed champion. And as for Canelo, Canelo will fight again because he likes to fight. And there's always going to be a bag for Canelo. So I'm sure we'll see Canelo again. If Canelo wants to retire, he should fight David Benavidez. And then as far as other athletes or other fighters are going, good fight coming up this weekend. Boots Ennis is going to fight, who they thought might have been an opportunity for Crawford in the past, but he doesn't. That's just taking a step backwards.
Boom. Look at you. Tony Yayo says Crawford should retire.
He can.
Listen, there's a question for both of us in the chat. Pretty Brown Mimi wants to know if either of us would consider doing a reality show if given the opportunity.
Hell no.
So let me tell you that 10 years ago, I was cast on a reality TV show.
Really?
On VH1 by Mona Scott Young. We filmed a few episodes and a lot of things happened, but it never aired. I thank God every day that it did. I wasn't doing anything crazy or anything like that. It wasn't one of those type of situations, but just, the type of reality TV I would do, like, put me on Dancing with the Stars. I'm going to kill that. I'm going to win that. I might do one of those, like, we're going to do the special ops thing. Maybe not special ops, but like one of those things. But just a reality TV about my life, probably not, because I've worked on the other side of it. And I know what it takes to be successful in it, at least currently, and there are just things that I am not open to.
Right. I think I'm just too antisocial for that. For all the gregariousness and fun personality that people see when I unplug. And that would be the end of the show right there. One episode. I'm done.
For me, it's not even about that. Like, I could turn it on for the cameras, but do I want to?
I don't.
That's what I mean. The things that it takes to be successful in the docuseries lane, I feel at this point, the type of things that they would want to see, I am not a party to that.
All the grooming and stuff would be, you know, all the hair done every day. And no, I just want a ponytail and walk to the corner.
You can still do that.
Yeah, and then the people will talk about me and they'll be all sensitive and stuff. And no, I can't do it.
Listen, thank you guys for locking in. I appreciate you. Make sure that you are back here Monday, 6 p.m. for all the trending topics and headlines. You know, whatever was burning up the weekend, I'll have it for you. Check out Giandra on social media. Giandra was here.
On YouTube, Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Giandra LaBeouf on Instagram. My name is very unusual, so just type me in, and wherever you see it, just follow that.
And shout out to the chat, the VIPs in the chat. We appreciate you. Big up to Andy as always. Hey. You know, it's Libra season, so, you know, y'all give Andy some love. Keep him lit up there because it's his time.
Keep his scale balanced.
That always. I'll tap in with you guys on Monday.
But they ain't rich, we trying to build that. Get sad, painting myths, and I don't feel that. Never keep it real, but turn around and say it's real rap. Ain't nothing I ain't skilled at. Layers when I peel back. This that meet me outside, this that family till I die. This that MJ45, run the bases and I'm back. This that travel never pack, fill the jet with Louis bags. This that happy that they mad, we too rich out here to flash. This that I've been up for days, too many members I gotta save. This that help these slave, being dumb don't make you brave. Built the house look like a maze, I just met another maid. Gang fighting over the bill, everybody getting paid. Everybody getting paid. Everybody getting paid.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A Virginia grand jury has indicted Black New York